Tell us, what would this dentist at this age say to the younger dentist at the earlier age? And then what would the earlier age have said to this dentist?
Good question. Um, that's a good question. I never thought of that.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the Extraordinary Drummer Show. As you know, I'm your host, Sharon Moore. You know, I always say today, today, today. Well, today, guys, I hope you don't mind me saying, and I've lost my eraser here. I hope you don't mind me saying we're going to talk about this. We got the GOAT on the phone. I hope you don't mind me saying it because I wrote that down. The greatest of all time. At least I can say in my generation and probably one generation before that. Will help me welcome today. He doesn't need a introduction. One of the nicest mans I ever met. I'm glad to call him a friend. Help me welcome Dennis Chambers. Hey, Dennis.
Hello, 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 hello,
Yeah,
hello.
I could have got hung up on that intro another 20 minutes, Dennis. Welcome to the Extraordinary Drummer Show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here back again.
Yeah, man. How you doing, brother?
So far, so good. I'm just right now. I'm in San Francisco, playing at Yoshi's with Mike Stern. Uh, we last night we were in L.A. We played the Baked Potato last night, and that was cool. We played that for 2 nights actually, and we're up here at Yoshi's for another 2 nights, and then I go home. Thank God.
Dennis, can I ask you a couple of questions as a sidebar? What do you think of being called the GOAT, greatest of all time?
I don't think of it, and I don't think of myself as the greatest of all time, especially when you got people like Lenny White, Billy Cobham, um, and all Jack DeJohnette, guys like that around. David Garbaldi, Mike Shreves, and Greg Rico. All those guys. They're still around, and these are the guys who I grew up listening to. Yep, they're still here. So I'm not the greatest of all time. I do okay. Whatever I do, I do. But my whole focus is just try to be the best that I could be, at the time that I'm doing whatever I'm doing. So I don't really get into titles and all that. If that's what you think of me, I appreciate that, but I don't really get into it.
I've asked other guys that question and they answered it the same way. Some of them even got not offended, but a little, you know, kind of perturbed about it actually. So let me ask it this way because a lot of the drummers would want to know there's another echelon, there's another, I won't say camaraderie because I've seen you mingle with any and everybody, but there is another level of great drummers such as yourself. What do you guys think of each other? What do you guys, you guys know, like you think of a Lenny and think of a this. And what do you guys think of each other and talk when you talk?
Look, I'm a big fan of drums and drummers. So I appreciate hearing anybody to have something to say with that instrument. So like every now and then I'll call up Dave just to talk to him. I'll call up Vinny, especially if I hear something that they played on that really kicked my butt. I'll call them up and just say, "Hey man, great track. You killed on this. You killed on that." Um, yeah. I mean, so I don't have any problems with the other drummers. As long as they get behind an instrument and do something, to motivate. I listen to other drummers just to motivate me sometimes. Well, a lot of times actually, I'm still listening to Billy Cobham. I'm still listening to Tony Williams. I'm still listening to Lenny White. I'm still listening to Jack DeJohnette, and I still listen to Art Blakey, Roy Haynes, all the greats. And then I listen to people that motivate me now, like Thomas Pridgett or Mike Mitchell or Ronna Bruner, who I saw last night. Um, I listen to them just to see what's going on, because they have some things to say.
What are you working on these days chop wise? Are you trying to advance and do anything?
No, no, no. I don't work on anything chop wise. In fact, I'm still the same Dennis. The last time we talked, or the last time I was on the show. I don't practice. I don't. I just go to the gig, and that's the way I can stay fresh. When I walk on bandstand and play it for the first time, or whatever that is, and approach it, open mindedly. Where I can just, because like every night when you play this music, it's we play the same music, but it's not played the same, and I really enjoy that. Because it allowed me to, like hear it another way. You know, hear the same piece of music in another way, and try to go there. And especially when you're playing with a group of people, other people that's in the band, that they that's the way they approach music, and that's how you have fun with it.
Dennis, if you wasn't playing drums, what do you think you'd be doing?
Auto mechanic,
Huh?
auto mechanic.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't know that. I don't think
Well,
none of us
in
knew
my
that.
in my earlier years, yeah, I would want to do that. Here at 62, I don't think I'm going to become an auto mechanic. I can't do that now. But I probably would be retired by now if I was an auto mechanic, because the body just can't keep up with that kind of.
Tell us, what would this Dennis at this age say to the younger Dennis at the earlier age? And then what would the earlier age have said to this Dennis?
Good question. Um, that's a good question. I never thought of that. I mean, because I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed, and to come up at the time that I came up. Because I had all this stuff around me to listen to that motivated me to play, and it was a lot of great music. You know, you know, um, I think the reason why I play the way I play is because I had people in my ear, like the Mahavishnu's and the Motowns and the Stax recordings and the Art Blakey's and all those guys. I had them in my ear. So what I did was I just took all of that, all the stuff that I like, and put it in a funnel. And what came out, what poured out, is me. But however, look, man, I'm not the guy who invented the steering wheel. There's nothing new about none of this stuff. Nothing. It's all been done before. The only difference is how you hear it and how you present it. If you go back and listen to the Delphonics music, which I that's another thing I I used to listen to. In fact, I still listen to the Delphonics. To listen to that drummer play, where the backbeat is so far behind the beat, and it's precise though. It's accurate. Where all of a sudden the music is not like stiff. It's not moving like this. It's going like this, and not in a bad way, but the music is what, like Carlos used to say, is more elastic. Where it stretches, but it feels so good. And that's the secret of when you listen to James Brown, or when you listen to the Delphonics, they're just what we call the grease of the music. The magic or the formula. Well, we don't have that these days now. We don't. There's some drummers, some young drummers, they have it, because the ones that did the research, they know about it. But when I walk into a club at like a jam session, I can tell who listened to what, and I can tell what they practice on.
Let me say thank you so very much for being on the Extraordinary Drummer Show.
Well, thank you for having me again.
I really appreciate it. Will you help us wave goodbye to all the fans? Was that a paradiddle or was that a single?
I don't know what that was, but it was some form of a rudiment.
That's for sure. I heard somebody once say all instruments are a percussion instrument. I heard somebody say that one
Yeah, that's true.
time.
Because if you're playing the bass, you're tapping. If you're playing a piano, you're using your fingers, and you gotta you
Yeah,
gotta tap the keys.
trumpet,
Yeah,
all of them. Dennis, thank you so
guitar,
very
rhythm
much.
guitar. You gotta strum it. The strumming is the rhythm. Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate you being on, brother.
Thank you, my brother.